Okay. Should we start a new game? We'll start a new game. So this is going to be an intro to Starfleet Command, just like a video. These are the list of campaigns, so these are the factions in the game. Federation, Gorn, Hydran, ISC, Klingon, Lyran, Mirak, Romulan, and then a bunch of pirate cartels. This is Orion Pirates Plus, so it's basically a standalone expansion of Starfleet Command 2 called Orion Pirates. I've put some mods on it. The biggest one is called Orion Pirates Plus. It's available on the Hot and Spicy forums. They're great guys. Check them out. I'm going to show you their version of the game. This is a great game. It's based off of Starfleet Battles, which was a tabletop game in the late 80s. Basically, it was fun but tedious. And so some guy said, hey, let's have a computer do all the dice rolling and the range finding. And they made this game. The first one was just called Starfleet Command. It's a fun game. I have it. It's available on Steam. I plan on streaming that at some point too. Okay, so this is the map of the universe. We're playing as the Federation, which are like the most common people in Star Trek, right? Most shows, I think all shows, are based on Federation captains and their ships. And this is a combat simulator of that concept. So these are the Gorn. They're our allies. They appear in the first, the original series. And they're lizard people. Captain Kirk fights one. They have heavy ships and use plasma torpedoes. The Federation, if anyone knows, they use photon torpedoes. That's their heavy weapon. And they have phasers on their ships. Phasers are like the laser beam weapons of this universe. These are the Romulans. They're an enemy of the Federation. They appear in multiple shows. They have the cloaking device, and they also use plasma torpedoes. These are the Klingons. They're also a tenuous enemy of the Federation. They're a warlike race. Their heavy weapon is disruptors. They charge twice as fast as photon torpedoes, but have half the range. They also use missiles, and they have phasers as well. This is the Mirak. They are the sworn enemy of the Lyrans, who we'll talk about next. The Mirak use solely missile weapons and like swarm tactics. Then the Lyrans are a cat-like race. They are allies of the Klingons. They hate the Hydrans and the Mirak. They use disruptors as well. And they also employ a weapon called the ESG, which is a expanding sphere generator. It's like a ram and also a missile and fighter defense. And then these are the Hydrans. They are a three-pronged species. There's 3 genders, 3 limbs. Their ships have a lot of motifs of 3. They use very unique weapons. One's called the fusion beam, which is a close-range weapon, and the Hellbore cannon, which damages all shields. And then they also employ very powerful fighters. And then the ISC, they're a new race for Starfleet Command 2. It's based off of campaigns for Starfleet Battles. The ISC is brought in by powerful beings called the Organians, who Captain Kirk also encounters, to enforce galactic peace. And you know what? We should actually do, we'll do the actual game's campaign, and I'll explain the game as well. So we'll do Federation versus ISC. You really should start in the Middle Era. That's when this encounter occurs. So the eras affect like the technology available. And so Middle Era is a good place to start. Really, we should start at Early Era, but you can't compete with the ISC early. And it makes it less fun. So as you gain experience, you get prestige. That's the currency of the game. And you need to basically complete missions to gain prestige. And we need to make patrol duties beyond colonial sectors or frontier territories. And we can basically engage our enemies as well. And then in a declared war, we need to guard our borders. So here's the news. The first thing that comes up, this is the economy of the universe. So Federation, we're all at 0 economic points. We haven't collected yet. The pirates get money on the first turn. No declared wars, and so now we move about the map. We start in our territory, presumably Earth, and we're captain of a small frigate. But there's a Klingon light cruiser deep in our territory, and I think that we may need to defend it. We'll see how it goes. We might just... Oh, okay, so as you can see, allied ships from adjacent tiles moved in. So now we're going to hopefully engage the Klingon light cruiser. There's a chance that I engage pirates instead. That's the mission. Yeah, so we actually got like it's a funny mission. It's nice, it gives you a lot of prestige for free basically. And you're supposed to, there's freighter wreckage, you're just gaining supplies. This is the combat screen of the game. This is the HUD. Right now I'm looking at Helm, there's Repair, Science, Marines, weapons, communication, defense, tactical map, fleet command, energy control, which is really important, and then settings. And then there's some more stuff. So remember, we're in command of a powerful starship from the 26th line or something. So they have a lot of interesting technological abilities. So they have, each ship has shields, and they also have a sensor system, transporters, which I'm using currently to beam in cargo from the box that we found, tractor beams, and then shuttles. This is also where you would command fighters. Most important screen in the game is this screen right here. So starships in this universe are powered by warp engines, which are super powerful generators. And they use this power to power all their systems. And so, essentially, it's a power management game, and you're competitive. So, I need power to charge my weapons, which I haven't even gone over yet. I need power to move. And if I want to use any of my auxiliary systems, or enforce shields, use sensors, that also costs me power. So we got enough spare parts, and this mission's free. It was just a good opportunity to explain the game before we get into a real fight. So now we're leaving the combat zone. We're basically going to hit above combat warp speed to just leave the area. All power to engines, you know, warp speed. Okay, so we'll just keep moving around the map. You have to move every turn, so we'll look for some easy missions. Okay, we'll just do a patrol. Man, the resolution kind of sucks on this screen. It's so hard to capture this game in OBS because it's a very old old game. It's not designed for modern operating systems. So. This mission's not going to be fun. I've encountered a space monster. It's quite large, and the space monsters are very strong. So... gonna have to fight him. We'll see how it goes. Charging my photon torpedoes currently. So these are my most important weapons. They do 8 points of damage when charged normally, if they hit. They have a 2-hit chance dependent on range. But their advantage is that they deal flat damage. Most other weapons in the game do not deal flat damage. Their damage rolls on a chart based on range. So that's my advantage over an enemy. Unfortunately, this monster is equipped with Hellbore cannons, which is one of the Hydran weapons systems that I explained. It's got 4 of them. So if I get hit, he's going to strip my shields pretty much instantly. Shield reinforcement helps against Hellbores because the damage is spread out against all shields. So it's actually pretty good. I'm also running 1 point of electronic countermeasures. Oh, he missed with all of them, thank God. Okay, so that was 4 shots of his Hellbore. Now, because I had a defense shift and he shot them from a pretty long range, they did not hit me. Unfortunately for him, I now know that his weapons are charging. He only has 4 heavy weapons. He has no phasers, because he's a monster. And so I'm going to shoot him with my photon torpedoes. Hit. And I'm actually going to save this one and charge it, because I don't think that he can charge as fast as I can dance around him. So, the name of the game in Starfleet Command, the rule number 1, as written in the sacred texts, which is the Starfleet Command Instruction Manual. Rule number 1 is speed is life. So if you maintain a speed advantage over your opponent, you are at the advantage overall tactically, because it allows you to dictate the range of combat. So see, once again, I got out of range because I was faster than him, and I knew his weapons were charging. And I'm still maintaining my sensor advantage, my defense shift, so only one of his shots hit me because I got out of range. So photon torpedoes, you want to fire at range 8, and that is because that's when they have their chance to hit doesn't improve by much the closer you get. And the sooner you fire your weapons, the faster they start recharging. So some weapons have a cooldown. And so we have some other tricks up our sleeve. We're going to drop a mine. So mines were one of the weapons that we can use. There's a hotkey for them. It's M. And that was something we bought before we fought this battle. And so it allows us to force him to back off once again. And I'm still faster than him, and I now have a mine in between me and him. So... only one hit. So we're just gonna keep doing the same thing. Unfortunately for us, these encounters tend to take a long time, because monsters basically cheat when it comes to the ship building rules of the game. There's like a set rule set of how you can create a ship. And I'm getting really unlucky So this is my enemy's hull integrity. Because he's a monster, he has no shields, but he has a massive amount of hull. And so I've been getting really unlucky with my photon torpedoes. I missed the last two. That's the feels bad of playing the Federation, is whenever you have an optimal photon shot and they still miss. But the overall really powerful, just because they don't cost so much. See, he's only hitting me with one Hellbore cannon. And this is because, well, basically I'm just able to outthink him because he's a computer. He can't try any tactics other than what he's programmed to do. So he's just going to keep trying to do this, and I'm just going to keep playing conservatively, unfortunately. Because this is like a heavy cruiser equivalent, I believe, in the faction that you can actually play as them. So I'm up against a lot, and I'm only in a very small ship. So this is going to be a really tedious fight. Unfortunately, I can win, so it's like I don't want to not play the game and try to win. Now I just need to wait out his Hellbores again. Hopefully I can start damaging some of his... Yeah, so he missed with all of them. Hit. Dear Lord. I'm even firing my defensive lasers at him just to try to whittle him down. So we're gonna speed up time, actually. And I tend to play sloppier with time sped up, but as long as I don't get hit by his Hellbores, I'm fine. Oh, as I say that, I'm a bit... So as you can see, I'm not playing as optimally. I missed a phaser shot because I wasn't able to line up my arcs. So each weapon has a firing arc. That's the... So you can see he kind of shreked me right there. My shields almost went down. And then I fired too early. The problem is he's gonna slowly lose engine power, and then he's in trouble. I think he's actually varying the rate that he's firing. Tagged him again. I gotta wait for him to charge. I'm not gonna play stupid. He's still got too many Hellbores up for me to get at close range. He will literally just strip every shield off my ship in one go. So. But he's starting to take damage, as you can see on his model. And he keeps missing with his Hellbores, because I still have a defense shift, and like I said, I'm controlling the range really well. Weaving in and out of his fire windows. What he should be doing is staggering his Hellbores and just I could counter that, though. I would probably slow down a lot and shift my ECM to 4 to really reduce his chance to hit. So, speed is life most of the time. There's a couple strategies that are effective. even if they go against the number one. The Romulans, for instance, have a cloaking device, which is a very interesting one. It makes you so that weapons are unable to gain a target lock against you, but at the cost of a massive amount of energy. Yikes. He hit with all four. That was a good dice roll right there. Somebody's gonna drop a mine here. Uh-oh. He got balled. Wasn't enough. Let's see if he... Oh, we're out of mines. Unlucky. Should have stocked up. I'm at max speed. I've damaged one of his Hellbores, so he only has 3 now. Got a good run on me. I just damaged another one of his Hellbores. Oh, another one gone. Okay. Now it's game, I believe. He can't punch my shields with just one Hellbore. So... back off, let our photons charge. Still using my sensors, because he's just a monster, so... nothing for him to do. Another Hellbore shot, so... shields slowly regenerate over time. Actually, each race or faction in the game has a different shield recharge rate. The Federation's is one of the best. The ISC also has a very high shield recharge rate. I think that probably Lyrans and maybe Klingons are the worst. The Klingons tend to have more fragile ships. Their engines are more prone to getting damaged upon being hit. And they are super fast, and their disruptor shoots very quickly. So they're actually able to contest Federation ships quite well. They also, like I said, have missiles, which are basically just what you would think of. They're missiles in space. They basically cause like a swarm tactic. It forces your opponent to divert phasers to shooting down missiles. Some ships are equipped with AMD, which is anti-missile defense. It's basically a flak cannon in space that shoots down the missiles, or has a chance to shoot down missiles. So he's almost dead, hopefully. And now that he's speed 10 and his weapons are completely crippled, I'm just gonna slow down a bit. This will allow me to reinforce my shields more and salvage my weapons. I have like nothing to be afraid of from him because he literally has nothing to fight me. So he's just dead in the water. If he was from an enemy faction, I might try to capture them for an honorable fight. But he's a space monster, so unfortunately, we just have to destroy him. So you see I took damage there. Photon torpedoes actually cause feedback damage when they're fired too closely to an enemy. And once again, like, this monster is ridiculous. Most fights don't take this long to get this out. It's just that he gets to cheat with shipbuilding, so there's no, like, quick way to win this. And see, I'm just... I should be playing better, I should not be taking feedback damage, but like I said, it's over, so... Alright, good mission. Oh man, 15-minute mission. I gained 700 prestige though, that's really good. We may be able to upgrade our ship with that. We could get a light cruiser. Oh, we could get a new light cruiser. I think we should do it. Alright. So the Delta has been traded in for the USS Morris. So this is one of the Federation's best ship designs. This new light cruiser design. It's its own hull. And it was introduced because Federation destroyers are absolute garbage. Until the late... In the late era, they're okay. But they are seriously underpowered early on. What is this? Destroyer escort. So this is probably what we'll go for next, is a heavy cruiser plus, or potentially a command cruiser if they're out by the time that we are able to get the prestige to get it. There's all kind of interesting ships. I think this has... that's the Galactic Survey Cruiser. That's an Orion Pirates Plus only ship. They're really not that good, but they were in Starfleet battles. They're kind of cool. This is a drone variant of a heavy cruiser, so some ships are equipped entirely with missiles. They're really good against the computer, but if you played a drone ship against me, I would destroy you. The computer just doesn't know how to counter missiles. Overall, I'm of the opinion that it's a weak tactic. It's so counterable. If we fight some missile ships, I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a deep space encounter. This mission is super fun. And we'll end the video after this. I know this is a long video, but I'm streaming it too, so... I stream sporadically. If you guys see this video and want to check out the stream, give me a follow. Twitch.tv/STRIOL. So we are in a much better ship now. This is, like I said, I believe this is an NCL Plus. Yeah. So this is a plus refit of an already good cruiser design. So now I have 4 photon torpedo launchers. And I have 6 phaser ones. I also have a missile rack, an anti-missile defense system, and a couple defensive phasers as well. So we should be looking for the enemy. So I'm going to activate a deep scan. This is an asteroid field, so our enemy could potentially ambush us from within the asteroids. And we don't know who we're fighting yet, so that could be potentially very bad. As you can see, I have like so much more engine power than my frigate. I'm basically like, I'm moving super fast right now, and I was charging my heavy weapons the entire time. So you saw what a struggle that was in the frigate. Now that I have a lot more engine power, it's quite good. Okay, so now our deep scan picked up pirate vessels, and so we are going to prepare to engage them. Fire a probe, try and see what they are. We probably want to get a little bit closer to our ally, the USS Thresher. This game's AI is generally pretty bad for allied ships, so if you command a fleet of more than one ship, the AI is just like really stupid, and it's not fun to play with. It's very interesting that that's the case, because Starfleet Command 1, your ally's AI was really good, And Starfleet Command 2, they tried to introduce this tactical command screen. This one, and it's bad. So that's the proximity alert klaxon. I don't remember how to change this. Actually, I do. I just haven't yet, so might be a little annoying. But it's good whenever you start out to have this turned on. So I'm actually going to shoot variant proximity torpedoes. They do half damage, but they double the range that they're effective at. Oh my god. So now I'm going to choose which shield I shoot at. Oh. And general rule of thumb is that if you score internal damage first, you have the advantage. So I'm literally just like trying to fly away from these asteroids right now because the proximity alert is like destroying my brain. And I'm sure it is destroying yours too, and I'm sorry about that. Oh, thank God. So, I'm not going to use the tactical screen to... Like, I have a supreme tactical advantage right now. I'm actually just going to back off and, like, fight in open space purely for the reason that I don't want to hear the stupid klaxon. So I'm actually going to change tactics. This is a different tactic. This is called the ECM tank. Basically what I'm going to do is... The first thing I'm going to do is... So this is the shuttle screen, right? I'm building a sensor decoy shuttle. And basically what that is it will take guided weapons targeting and basically spoof it to attack it instead of me. And the reason that I'm doing that is because he has plasma torpedoes, which do a lot of damage, but they take forever to charge. So I can actually fly slower than him, and still be able to fight him well. And the reason is because the main tactic, or the main like mantra of employing this tactic should be keep the pointy end at the enemy. Like, stick them with the pointy end. Seriously. You just fly really slow. You set photon torpedoes to proximity mode. And since my ally is also threatening him, he can choose to engage me. But I have now a way to counter his plasma torpedoes. Or I can just hang around out of his range, even though I'm going slow, and use the extreme range of proximity torps to just annihilate him. So we're actually going to try to... we're trying to shoot down one of the enemy missiles for our ally. You can hit the spacebar, that's the hotkey to... No, you got to do this, buddy. Lucky. If you heard that sound effect, that was actually the photon torpedo hitting the actual. Oh my god, 2 misses. So unlucky. Seriously. Okay, so we're gonna hit him hard. 83% chance of doing this. If I fail, my engines will shut down. We succeeded? Oh, hello. So that's called a high energy. That's another ability that your ship has. And basically what that allowed me to do was turn my ship extremely quickly. And you basically have to take a dice roll at whether or not you succeed or shut down your engines for like an entire turn. Most ships have at least 100% high energy turn rate, which means that they will get to do at least one per game. Some lighter ships and some other faction ships have high energy turn rate. The pirates, that's one of their main advantages, or one of their advantages is the fact that they have really good high energy turn rates. And that allows them to dance. But like I said, ECM tanking is really good. He doesn't, so now that I'm close to him, I can actually see what damage I've inflicted, so he lost both his plasma torpedoes, which means that he's no threat to me. We could actually... Yeah, so I'll show you. This is another shuttle that you can build. This is called a scatter pack. And even though we should just kill them with our weapons that don't... So one of the disadvantages of missiles is that they are consumable. You have to purchase them at star bases or planets. And so they end up costing you prestige points in the long run too. So normally at this stage in the game you would not be firing missiles because you'd just be wasting resources that you could use in the next encounter without needing to resupply. But I would just want to show you this mechanic, so if that wasn't obvious, scatter packs launch missiles. You use missiles from your racks, so I should have showed you this earlier, but you have so many missiles ready, and now we're going to launch this little shuttle, and he's going to do something pretty amazing. And this guy is so dead. Well played. So that was like a, you know, unnecessary, but that's what the scatter packs do. The Klingons are able to use them. They employ them a lot. The Federation... So the name of the game for the Federation is that they're tactically flexible. And I hope that I was able to convey that with the different play styles, either moving fast and dictating range, or maintaining ECM and moving slow, and using the versatility of your ship to destroy the enemy. So I believe, I was told, Hot and Spicy Forums will be releasing a multiplayer version of this game soon, hopefully. And I guess one of the points of these videos was also to like explain the tactics of Starfleet Command. I think this was a good intro video, and I think maybe the next video I make will be more of tactics for different factions. But yeah, thanks for watching. I think that I'm gonna call it quits for now. We still have to fight the ISC, so the ISC is coming. Should be pretty fun. So, yeah, if anyone sees this video, leave a comment, leave a like. I would appreciate it. Yeah. Might make another video. I gotta figure out why my, why is my webcam capture? Oh, I think I know why. Oh, damn it. Well, face stream next time for sure. Yeah. See you guys later.